Welcome everyone. We are Clean Slate Show Runners. It's a podcast where the slate is clean and I am keen to have conversation with some of the most amazing people. Welcome to the Clean Slate Show.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Take one clap.
Maybe set on him. And then, to me, you have to go a little bit, keep your hands to yourself. So, alright, we can start, right? Burst a common myth about nutrition.
That you can't eat carbs? Yeah, no, you can totally eat carbs. Carbs are good for you. Pasta, eat a pasta. Eat a slice of pizza. Like, you need that energy. And you know what? It's the stuff that puts you in a good mood.
In Greek mythology, diet means your lifestyle. Diet is not just what you are eating or when somebody says, I'm on a diet. No, you are on diet your whole life.
Your whole life. So when
So
I
how
go
can
running,
someone just start? Like when I sit for a meditation, I just start thinking about when this will end.
Yeah, scares people like that. You have to be sitting and still and closing your eyes, and you have to be in this like state where you're not moving. But that's not necessarily meditation. The same thing with kids. We do meditation through movement. We find different ways for them to move their mind and their body and distract it from whatever it was that caused them to be that way. Meditation is not just sitting still. Sometimes they need to get up and just breathe and scream and dance, and that's a form of meditation. Meditation is about being in present, right? It's removing those distractions.
Do you do 10,000 step thing?
Yes.
Every
Every day, my aim is for 10,000
You don't take a break
steps.
even a single day?
No. So for me, meditating doesn't mean that I just sit in a room and I close my eyes. I meditate when I exercise, when I run, when I brush my teeth, when I'm in the shower. What I do is I just try to focus on the area and the space that I'm in.
Welcome everyone. We are Clean Slate Show Runners. It's a podcast where the slate is clean and I am keen to have conversation with some of the most amazing people. I had heard a quote a year ago from now, which goes something like this: one day or day one. And I'm happy to report this is my day one and I have arrived. For my first episode, I had manifested this for a long time. If you're manifesting, please keep doing that because that does come true at some point. And my today's first guest is my sister-in-law. She's a very accomplished person in her professional and her personal life. She's a certified nutritionist from Cornell. She even gets her kids to meditate, which I have 2 boys, and trust me, that's really hard. We had some very good conversations in this podcast, and I'm happy to share a lot of information with you guys in this first episode. So let's welcome Niralee Patel. Let's go.
Without further ado, let me bring the guest in and then we can have a good conversation. So Niralee Ben, welcome to the Clean Slate Show.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
How are you feeling?
Honored.
Honored?
Honestly.
I'm honored. And like I said right in the beginning, I was genuinely manifesting and I was like, I really want you. There's some form of easiness with you. When I talk to you, we always have had some like good conversations, keeping laughs aside when we have family around, but even when I get to talk to you, and lately I realized that a lot. I don't know if it's the kids thing. Like ever since I had kids, I'm going on a path of maybe, I don't want to say spiritual because I'm not spiritual. I want to be spiritual a little bit. But I don't know, there's something that, do you feel the same?
Absolutely.
Before, after?
Yeah, I mean, kids bring so much things into perspective.
Right.
And you forget who you were at one point.
Right.
And once you have kids, you become another person.
Right.
And now you're evolving as a parent, and you want to show your kids that you can be and do whatever you want, and that grows with you and carries with you, and that's why you feel that way.
Yeah. I didn't, the funny thing is, so just to give an example, I get teary eyes, I cry at the end of movies. I like them. It's so weird.
No, it's emotional.
I didn't knew that this chord was somewhere fit in me.
Yeah.
It just had to be, bought out. And so I have a lot of stuff to talk to you about, even though I talk to you on one-on-one basis, but this gives us like so much space. And by the way, I called her Niralee Ben, right? this is our Gujarati culture that I'm going to leak somewhere here and there, right? When someone's elder to you, or when you're married into a family where your wife has a certain relationship with somebody. So my wife also calls you Ben, Didi, whatever. So I adopt that, and we pass this on to our younger generations. We encourage them to keep that respect on, because trust me, when you respect somebody, you get a lot out of it. It's not
Yeah.
just for
Of course.
generational thing, but like, you kind of bond that way.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit, since I introduced by saying I manifested this moment, right?
Yeah.
And I know that you do preach a lot of meditation. So my first question is, how can somebody meditate? I mean, just closing eyes, is that meditation?
No, no.
Can you
I think-
walk us through your process a little bit?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what scares people, like that you have to be sitting and still and closing your eyes, and you have to be in this like state where you're not moving, but that's not necessarily meditation. Meditation is being able to remove the distractions from your mind and just focus on a moment in time, right? This existing moment in time. And so for me, I cannot sit still. I have this natural fidgety behavior that I can't sit still, right? Most people, they like shake their legs or bite their nails or play with their hair. But I'm the same way. I can't just sit still. So for me, meditating doesn't mean that I just sit in a room and I close my eyes. I meditate when I exercise, when I run, when I brush my teeth, when I'm in the shower. What I do is I just try to focus on the area and the space that I'm in.
That's
That's it.
It's very hard though.
It's hard. It's easier said than done, or harder to do it than it is to say. But once you've practiced it, you are able to actually do it. So when
So
I
how
go
can
running,
someone just start? Like, I thought like closing eyes and like just. So I know what visualization and everything means, how it's supposed to be done, but then when I sit for a meditation, I just start thinking about when this will end,
Yeah.
and then I can open my eyes.
Okay.
And there are so many outside noises, or lately I've been putting up headphones on with some, like, let's say, music of waves
Yeah.
or
So
something.
guided meditations.
Right.
Have you ever tried a guided meditation where somebody talks
Yeah.
you through what to do, so that
I have
like,
tried that.
when your mind does wander, you go back to that voice and whatever it's telling you to do, you
Right.
follow that.
So
Have you ever-
I have tried that. I've tried that from YouTube.
Yeah.
There are a
would.
couple of groups. It does help, but then after a while, I kind of grow out of it, and then I want something new. So probably, I don't know. Does it really? So what my mom says is that you should tell yourself that today you're going to have a best meditation.
Mm-hmm.
But then my mind is so not steady. Like
Yeah.
I want to do like 10 different things. You wake up in the morning,
Yeah.
you start thinking about work, you start thinking about kids,
Yeah.
putting them to school, all of those things, right? So mind is so cluttered. Is morning the best time to do meditation? And
Yeah.
if so, like what kind of tips and tricks can you give us, like for the audience to even if they want to start doing meditation?
Yeah. I think with meditation, it's about routine.
Okay.
And so whatever your morning routine is, right? So like I think the best thing to do is wake up before anybody is even up, like before the sun is even up. So typically we wake up around 5:30, sometimes a little bit later, but like before 6 o'clock, before the sun is up, I wake up, and the first thing I'll do is like drink water,
Right.
and then go straight to the bathroom to brush my teeth.
Same.
And when it's really dark outside, my favorite thing to do is light a candle
Right.
in the bathroom.
Okay.
So I light a candle and I brush my teeth, and I'm just looking at myself brushing my teeth.
Right.
And that is a form of meditation. I'm not thinking about my day. I'm not thinking about my to-do list. I'm literally just watching myself brush my teeth.
Right.
And that is that moment in time where I'm just being present.
Right.
And that's meditation.
So I think right away I can say, in the first mistake I'm already, as you're talking, I know I look at my phone first. That's probably where I am.
Oh God, no. I don't look at my phone.
And a lot of people do that.
Yeah. No. I don't look at my phone. Phone is on the side. And the best thing that now our phones have is the feature of do not disturb. So like
Right.
even if you are to turn it on, you can't open any apps up.
Okay.
So
Yeah, but I have gone the hack where I have gone do not disturb. No, not do not disturb. I go to I am sleep mode,
Mhm.
but then I have gone within the app and allowed
And
myself
allowed
access to. So yeah, probably need to stop
it's a
doing
discipline.
that.
Yeah.
Discipline. Okay.
Another good tip that I've heard people do is they they take their phone and charge it in like a different room, like in the kitchen or in your office. Like, don't even take it to bed with you.
Oh, that's really good.
You
Or
know,
keep
just
it
charge it
away
somewhere
from
else.
you.
Yeah, go put it, charge it in your office, charge it in the kitchen.
That solves another purpose too, actually. You know,
Yeah.
in the snooze.
Yeah.
You don't need to snooze.
No.
Once you get up from your bed and you walk to get your phone,
Yeah.
you already would have.
Exactly. That is another thing that I don't do is I don't hit snooze.
Right.
My alarm goes off and I am up and out of bed.
Yeah.
I don't fall back asleep. I don't hit snooze.
That's a practice too, right? I mean, if you do it for a couple of days,
You know
then it'll
what's
become a
funny?
habit.
It wasn't even about a practice. I'm just naturally that just happened for me. I didn't have to practice. I just am not able to snooze
Okay.
for some reason.
that is amazing.
I don't know.
That's really amazing.
I'm
if
not
you can
able
do
to
that.
fall back asleep. So that's, I think, one of the biggest benefits that I have is that I'm able to just wake up out of bed.
Right. Is that something about also being a mother that you are so particularly disciplined? I see my Shivani doing the same thing. My wife, she does press snooze sometimes, but then she has a switch that she just gets up and just starts doing her thing.
Yeah.
Until
It's-
boys get up and they start crying. That's when I realize, and then she's not on there. And then she
Yeah.
comes up. By the time she finishes her workout, she finishes her everything, and then
Yeah.
she's ready to go.
Yeah, well, you know, the mother's instinct is a reason. Like that
Yeah.
saying is there for a reason. You know, moms just have this capability for that very purpose.
I believe that. I truly
Yeah.
believe that. I've seen that with on my own eyes.
Yeah.
Also, like I went to this when I was very young.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what parents puts their kids through. They don't understand what impacts they will have when they like grow a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to this interesting workshop academy. Me and my sister both were. They taught us. It was about unlocking the powers of your brain. Like what can your brain do? Their whole point was that there is 10% of what you are tapping into.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that can do wonders, now imagine if you can push the envelope a little bit more.
further, yeah.
And then they shared like tricks and it was not a gimmick. I mean, it was legit. Like they were showing practical scientific tricks to improve your memorization. And they had some like people who came up on the stage and they were literally give them a book and they kind of developed like good amount of memory to absorb the content.
Okay.
That's what we struggle with, right?
Yeah.
So that's when I learned this concept of manifestation. So I said manifestation because what I understood from manifestation is like if I keep seeing that over and over again,
That
not
eventually
or
it'll
maybe if
happen.
I keep saying it over and over again, universe will bring it back to me.
Yeah.
Is that what manifestation truly is?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, people have those like vision boards.
Right.
You know, it's a manifestation of what you see and envision of your future. And if you see it every day, you'll know that you'll see it in other places and know that this is a sign.
Right.
You know, recently I was watching a movie and it was about, and there was a story within that movie about, you know, there's a guy, he's like in a hurricane or something and he's on a raft and he's like going along in life and he's like, I was waiting for God to send me a sign for something. And, you know, like he comes along the way and he sees like a ladder, but he ignores the ladder. He's like, oh, you know, God will take care of me. I don't need this ladder to climb something, right? Or, you know, and then he moves along again and he sees another thing. And eventually, like, he sees God. He, like, dies and goes, you see God. And he's like, God, you know, how come you never sent me anything to help me? And he's like, I sent you all these things. You just didn't notice.
Right.
This was me. This was God sending you these signs. You just didn't take the opportunity. That's what manifestation is, right? So
Right.
you see things along the way. You have to know what you want.
So that's a very interesting thing that you just said. Because a lot of times then you also attract negativity, right? Like
Oh, yeah,
manifestation can work in both ways.
of course.
So it's important to understand that whatever you manifest, let's say even that's why people. So then that's a perfect segue, like positive thinking, right? But it's really hard. It's like you have so much self-doubt. Like even for this podcast, there was so much procrastination that I had, and after a while, you know, I was like, no, this is all just
Yeah.
mind playing tricks.
Yeah,
You are ready,
yeah.
or you will never be ready, but that's okay.
It's okay.
The only way to know
Is to
it
do
because this is lifelong journey.
Yeah.
Doing this is like you cannot see how comfortable we are already. I mean, we are just in the beginning.
Like naturally.
Yeah, so like it comes to you even while talking to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how? And I know you. I have seen you. At least from my POV, I think you are a kind of a very positive person.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like, how do you fight your self doubts and still put up a brave face?
Yeah. I still do self-doubt quite often, but then I see those who are, similar to how you said you're an underdog, right? You feel like you're the underdog, but you're not. Similarly, I am an underdog to somebody else.
Right.
And I see those people and what they've done. And of course, they also have their self doubts, right? There's
Right.
always that, it's all
Right.
relatively speaking. But I think it's just continuing that practice of positivity and, just alluring positivity.
Yeah.
There's no need to be stressed out. There's no need to be thinking negatively. Who's it going to benefit? Does it benefit anybody?
That's still. I understand what you are saying, and again, like I try to practice it now a lot. That's probably like, I think after I've had kids, I still do have, like, when people do something wrong, mostly it doesn't bother me. But if it bothers me, it bothers me,
Yeah,
and then
of course.
it stays with me. And again, I'm a Virgo, so I think I don't know if this is a Virgo thing.
Yeah.
It latches onto you,
Really?
and what happens is that after a while, you get to a point where you just simply ignore it,
Mm-hmm.
and you just suppress it somehow, suppress to a point where it just dies down with you.
Yeah, I'm also a Virgo.
Yeah.
And I always think that, and there's a great book that I've been reading, it's about parenting,
Okay.
but basically nobody is born bad, right? Everybody's born good. All babies are born being perfect humans, right?
Right.
They have no negative thoughts.
They have no filter. They have no negative. That's the most
That's
genuine
just
thing.
the most genuine thing, right?
Right.
But then society, experiences, things that are happening in their lives are what cause them to go and think in a certain type of way,
Right.
right? So something is happening to those people who have these negative thoughts, or something has happened to those people. And I think that I empathize with that. That's where I start. It's like, okay, why is this person like this? What happened to them that they are this type of way, or they have this negative mindset, right?
Right.
And it's just like with kids, no kid is born bad. All kids are, born as good little humans.
Right.
And they have an older sibling who behaves bad. So they see that. And so then they go and behave bad.
Right.
Or they were in school and somebody said a bad word. So then they came home and said a bad word. It's just they saw something and they repeated it.
Right.
And, that's the same thing with adults. It carries on to adulthood. And
So
I think
so is it important?
if you try to empathize,
Mhm.
and-
Empathize meaning like you put yourself in their shoes and then figure out why did they did that?
yeah.
So what the trigger point was?
Right. There's got to be something that's triggering them to behave this way. And I think that for me, I'm good with empathy. I'm able to empathize and say, you know what?
But what if that becomes a pattern? Like, okay, like let's say somebody does something negative.
That's for me. I'm like, I'm hands off. I can't.
How do you do that?
I just cut off. I mean, I have my own mental sanity that I think about. And I think that it's important to not, people call it selfish. I feel like it's selfless. I'm taking care of me and my family
Right.
by not being that way and not associating with people like that as well.
Gotcha.
Which is easier said than done, of course, especially when you live in like this world and this society. But there's negativity around you, but there's also positivity. And I think that that's what I try to focus on.
Yeah, so you just choose to like ignore all the negative portions of someone, and then empathy is what I'm getting out of this whole
Yeah.
conversation. Empathy. You have to empathize in general. You need to have a lot of empathy with everything.
Everything,
And
every
then,
human, everybody, everything. Just empathizing empathy is a very important skill.
Right. And you are certified in a nutritionist,
Yeah.
which means if you tell me to not eat something, I should not be eating that with authority,
Okay.
right?
Sort of. Yeah.
Sort of. Right.
Essentially.
You have science behind it.
I have some science behind it, right?
Yeah.
For me,
yeah.
science, health, wellness, that's been like a lifelong passion of mine.
So talk to me a little bit about it. Like, why nutrition? Like,
No,
you
it's
don't.
not just nutrition. People think that, if I exercise, I'm going to lose weight. And then they exercise and they lose some weight, sure. But then they plateau and, they keep on with their eating habits. as you grow older, those eating habits stick with you, and our bodies don't work the same.
Right.
You know, and we don't realize that. You keep with those eating habits, and then over time you're like, oh shit, now I have sorry, am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay. Now I have high blood pressure. Now I have cholesterol and diabetes, and it's like those things can be managed and maintained through diet and exercise, but you have to do it from the beginning.
Right.
It starts in your 20s.
So talk to me about like why did you choose to get certified in nutrition? What was your motivation behind it?
Yeah. So my husband and I, well, you know, it was actually my father-in-law. He had this dream, this vision for me, and he wanted me to get involved in some sort of a business, essentially.
Okay.
And we were doing some research, and we came across this company called Collagen for Her.
Okay.
And after doing a lot of research, it made me realize, all right, I want to connect with women and women's health care and women's health and wellness. And I think that this business would be a perfect channel for me to channel what I'm passionate about, which is health and wellness.
Okay.
And so we acquired this business called Collagen for Her. And one of the things that I wanted to start doing is write articles.
Okay.
But I wanted there to be some credibility. Yes, I have a scientific background. I have a pharmaceutical science bachelor's. I have an MBA in pharmaceutical business. My entire career has been in the pharma industry, for the most part.
Okay.
And so I knew a lot about science. I had that knowledge, you know, education-wise. But I still wanted there to be credibility when it came to nutritional value in foods, right? Like I studied organic chemistry and I studied pharmaceutical products.
Right.
But what about the true natural foods that are out there? How can that help us, right?
Right.
And so I wanted to start writing some articles and have some credibility around it. And I thought that having a nutrition certification would like just be kind of that icing on the top to these.
So where are you published? Like where if somebody wants to read your articles, how can they
so
access
right
it?
now I'm just kind of starting out, but Prime Women magazine
Okay.
is an online women's magazine.
So we'll put the link in the description
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
anyone to review it.
I'll send a couple of articles, and Prime Women magazine is where I've written a couple of articles, and right now it's mostly related to my business and collagen.
Okay.
And then again, it's just being able to be credible when I speak to somebody about health and wellness in general.
Right.
Right. Collagen for Her is just my channel to get in
Okay.
and connect with women. But I want to be able to say, like, you know, eating these certain foods, doing these certain habits is going to help you. And I don't want to just say it because I read about it. I want to
Right.
say it because I studied it, I learned it. I have a science background, and now I have a nutrition background to understand how food affects our bodies.
So Collagen for Her, you gave me those products. So I've been using it for a couple of weeks now. It's definitely over a month. And my first question to you as well was at that point of time, it says Collagen for Her. Men can use that too.
Yeah.
And you
Men
said
can
men
use it.
should use it
Yeah.
because it's, and there's a lot of science behind using that.
Yeah.
So I did start seeing like my hair quality got a little bit better. I started seeing some mood. I used to feel like after I do intense workout now because I don't know if you've ever heard of Project Deflation.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's my thing that I started. I'm going to
Okay.
deflate. I'm going to lose.
Okay.
Every time it really makes Shivani tickle and cringe at sometimes. I think, why do you keep saying that? Because every time I end my workout, I'm like, yeah,
That's
I've
what
deflated a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm planning. I'm on a journey to lose like drop weight, but like build muscle and just like really get
Yeah.
lean.
Yeah.
So I'm again, it's a long journey, but I'm glad that I started. And that your product introduction was perfect because I take that with my protein shake. So I just take 1 scoop of protein and then I put like so there were different packs that you gave me. The smaller box we ran out of it, so and now we have the big one.
Yeah.
So I
I'll
take
just
half
send
a
you
scoop,
more.
I put it in there, and then I just use some water and then shake it and then drink it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm seeing myself change, but I don't know like how much of that is from this collagen.
Yeah.
So like, what does that do to your body?
Yeah, yeah. So our muscles, right? Our whole body is made up of all these different muscles, right? Our organs, the muscles that make up our biceps and triceps
Fibers,
and
okay.
legs and all that, right? So there's these fibers. They're like little threads, essentially, right? You take a needle and a thread and you sew things
Right.
together. Similarly, that's how it keeps our muscles together. There's these threads within our muscles that keep the muscles strong and working.
Okay.
And so as we get older, those threads start to get thinner and they diminish over time. So once we hit our 30s and our 35s and 40s, like less and less collagen is in our bodies. And the only way, and that's what, over time you start to feel like, as you get older is when you feel the joint pain, right? It's because those muscles are starting to wear and tear. And the only way to supplement and improve that collagen in our body is to supplement it with, like a collagen supplement.
Some supplement, yeah.
And so what collagen does is really strengthens those muscles back up, the threads of those muscles back up.
Okay.
And so when you have had an intense workout, or if you're feeling joint pain, even within our GI system, right, like our gastrointestinal system, the intestines, there's these different collagen fibers inside that keep it moving. But as we grow older, like I said, once that collagen depletes in our bodies, that mobility in our GI tract is also going down. And so that's when you feel like the bloating and the constipation, and you have all these like health, like GI problems. You can't like go regularly, those sorts of things. And so what collagen does is help to strengthen all of that back up.
Right.
Added benefit, collagen is in our skin. It helps with our hair growth, our nails, strengthens your skin's elasticity. Again, there's these fibers in our skin and that's collagen. That's what keeps it from wrinkling.
Okay.
And so when you take a supplement, and again, that's the only way to really replenish that collagen. You can't just eat it in your meal. You won't get enough of it.
Gotcha.
You have to take a powder essentially. And so that's what collagen does. It's more than just hair, skin, and nails.
Right.
It really helps with the muscle recovery, the joint pain, and your GI.
Gotcha. So if anybody wants to get their hands on it, you have a website. People can buy the products. So we were actually planning on staging the product, right? But we unfortunately couldn't do that right now. But we definitely would want
We will, yeah.
the audience to know about the product.
Yep,
and
collagenforher.com.
and what can you do for my audience in terms of like
Yeah,
discount?
absolutely.
Can you give anything?
Yes, definitely.
All right.
Clean Slate 20. You'll get 20% off.
All right. Clean Slate
And-
20. We'll put it in the description again.
Yeah, no, we'll give you guys the code and everything.
Perfect.
Your audience will get 20% off on
Awesome.
our products, and we'd love for you guys to try it and
Yeah.
tell us how you like
I
it.
have tried it, and I'm planning
my
on
husband and
continuing
I-
this forever.
Yeah, the thing about collagen is it's preventative, right? It's, our whole society has become so reactive to their health.
Yes.
Like only when their stomach hurts or only when their head hurts, they start taking medication, or,
Yes.
my muscles hurt, and then they start popping pills and things like that. And so it's like we've become so reactive to our health. Collagen and just supplements in general, I think, even diet and nutrition and like health and exercise, diet and exercise, all of that is preventative healthcare.
Yes.
We want to prevent ourselves from, when we get older,
Right.
having to pop pills. Sure, there's a medication for it out there.
Yeah.
But if you can naturally do it without, popping all those chemicals and putting all that into your body, then I think that's kind of what we need to be focusing on.
So
is preventative healthcare.
means how young a person should be. I mean, it's never late to start. But let's say like if somebody
it is
wants
early. I mean, I typically for collagen, I do recommend like 35 and above.
35 and above. Okay.
But if you're active and like working out and things like that, like in your 30s, it's a good idea to supplement because it helps with those muscle recovery.
And this is natural.
Collagen, yeah.
The product that you've
Yep.
been using. I've been using.
Pure collagen,
Yeah. So just don't take our word for it. Like you have
Try it.
on your side a lot of testimonies as well.
Yeah.
So you guys can read through it. It's really great product. I've used it
Yeah.
myself for a couple of weeks now, and I do feel some change. And I cannot wait to see what it does to me when I grow even more older, right?
Again, you might not, you won't notice
it's not
it
visible.
right away. Right. It's not
Yeah.
visible in that
Right.
way. It's just preventative.
Yeah, and then you feel the best way to know it is at your age, if you're fit or not fit, you talk to somebody who doesn't take collagen.
Yeah.
You might get a sense of what this does to your body and
Right.
what if they did not because they missed out on it. So
Yeah.
So use taking advantage of the promotion and
Clean
try to
Slate
get
20.
something for yourself. Clean Slate 20, we'll put it in the description. We'll even try to edit. Let's challenge our editor to put somewhere here on the screen, and let's see what they come up with.
Sure.
Let me lean you on a secret. I might be the editor. I don't know that, so I will figure it out.
For now,
But
yeah.
thank you so much for doing that. What's the best way to consume veg? Is there like any like boiled or maybe like a roasted? Like how should one eat vegetables?
My thing is to always steam your vegetables.
Every
Steamed
okay.
vegetables, whether it's spinach,
And why do we
broccoli,
do that?
kale. You know, it brings out. I think the thing about raw is our bodies they can't break it down if it's raw, and that's when you feel that gassy bloating.
Yeah.
The enzymes in our stomachs and the gases that are in there, it just bubbles up when you put anything raw into it.
Okay.
Steaming it is when that nutritional value is actually coming out. So eating raw spinach is actually not the right way to eat it. Like when you put it in a salad, you're not getting the true nutritional value of it until you cook it down a little bit and release those juices out of the spinach.
So then what about certain
Or
vegetables like
broccoli.
tomatoes or like let's say cucumbers? You
Same.
can't boil them. You can boil them too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
You know, you just saute some tomatoes. You just put them in a little bit of olive oil,
Okay.
and you know that's still the best way because again, it's the enzymes in our bodies that can't break it down if it's too raw.
Okay.
And I think it's also cucumbers are fine because it's more of a water content situation. The higher the water content, the better it is.
Okay.
Spinach, when it's raw, the water content is not, you can't visibly see it. And so our bodies can't break it down. But when it's broken down, the water content is opened up. You know, you get,
Right.
like, you know, when you saute spinach, like there's all this water that comes
It
out of it.
loses the water. Yeah.
Yeah. Then when you consume it, our bodies can break it down better.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So like tomatoes are okay raw because there is a high water content in there.
Right.
Cucumbers, same thing. It's got water content, right? Like when you cut a cucumber, juices come out of it. When you cut a spinach leaf, there's no juices that come out of it
Right.
until you cook it down. Same with broccoli. Like you cut a broccoli in half and you won't see that much water. But as soon as you steam it, that water is coming out and releasing. And that's what you want. That's how our bodies will be able to break it down is the water content
Gotcha.
in a vegetable.
Right. Okay, that's good information. Steamed, I think I also read it somewhere, but again, it's always good to get validated by somebody who is certified, who knows
Yeah.
what they're talking about.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And
yeah.
anything green is always going to be good for you.
consume more green.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Talk to me about like since we're talking about health right now, and lifting weights has been such a thing that everyone should do that. Everyone should lift weights.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
From younger age.
Yeah.
What does that do to your body? Like once you cross like 40, if somebody is over 40 or somebody over 35, they still want to start lifting weights. What's the safest and what's the best way to do that?
Yeah.
And for also enlighten women.
Yeah.
What does it do to their body?
Women absolutely. They think that if they lift weights, they'll start getting bulked up and things like that. It's impossible to get bulked up as a woman because we don't have the hormones, right? Our hormones play a big role in our muscles and the way our bodies are shaped for women and men, right? And so we don't have testosterone. And so when we lift weights, nothing's going to bulk us up like that. Like
Right.
that's what testosterone is, what feeds into that bulking.
Right.
And so for women, it's just impossible. Lifting heavy weights will just improve the shape of our body because it'll burn that fat.
Right.
And the only way to do that is to strengthen those muscles.
Right.
And when women lift, and you're not supposed to, I think even lifting, like you don't do it every day. Shouldn't be the only thing you do.
Right.
You need to incorporate a variety of exercises like cardio and strength training. And I typically strength train 3 days a week.
Okay.
And I alternate between like arms, legs, and full body.
Okay.
And then the rest of the time, I'm literally just running.
And if somebody cannot just run, they just walk. And
Or
do
walk.
you do 10,000 step thing?
Yes.
Every-
Every day, my aim is for 10,000
You don't take a break
steps.
even a single day.
No. So
Right.
even on my like rest days, I'll still go for a walk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you count steps on your rest days?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
10,000, I still, on a rest day, try to hit 10,000 steps.
Okay.
And it's not about the steps. It's about the activity,
Okay.
right? Living a sedentary lifestyle is not like I don't, it's just not as healthy. Even after I eat, I will go for a 10-minute walk. Like, I will not just sit, because that's what will help our digestive tract start getting kick-started, is going for a quick walk to help digest the food that we just ate.
Right.
So 5, 10, 15 minutes max, if you have some time, go for a walk. Don't just sit after you eat.
Right away, or should we just go after, like, there's
No,
a
you
10,
just
15
go
minutes?
for a walk.
So I ate and then I put my dishes, wash
And
my
then
hands
go for a walk.
right away. You don't
Right
have to
away.
wait. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
That's kind of been a
good
routine
information.
and practice between my family.
Mm-hmm.
The four of us, we will go out for a walk. We'll walk around in our house. We'll just do something where we're on our feet and moving
Right.
for 10, 15 minutes after every meal. I try to do that.
Okay, that's a great advice.
And then again, if you're on the phone with somebody, don't just sit on the phone and sit down. Just walk,
Yeah.
pace.
That's what I tell my
It's
mom now.
Easily,
That's what I do.
you'll get 10,000 steps in a day. You'll realize.
Yeah.
Just-
If you walk at a normal pace of walking,
Yeah.
in every 10 minutes, you can easily get 1,000 steps.
Yeah.
If we walk at a normal pace for 10 minutes,
Exactly.
you get 1,000 steps right
1,000
there.
steps right there.
So-
So it's easy to do that. It's not hard if you set the goal
Right.
to get 10,000 steps.
Yeah. That's why I got a watch. I think that helps me a lot.
Yeah.
So there are days when I'm really exhausted, but then I'll still try to. I'm still in the early phases of this 10,000. I've been doing 10,000 consistently, but
Yeah.
what at least I might tell myself is that try to reach there.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if you cannot get that 10,000. It feels very satisfying, liberating once that 10,000 hits. But it's that zone that you are in once you
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And I think the other thing, along with so muscle building is one thing, right? For women, like strength training and building some muscle is a good thing, but it's also incorporating protein into your diet. Not just protein, but you need a healthy balance of all the macronutrients, right?
Right.
Fats, carbs, and protein.
Right.
And you should be getting anywhere between 60 to 100 grams of protein
daily.
daily.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you're a vegetarian, there's definitely lots of great recipes that are vegetarian, like that include like beans and lentils and tofu and paneer. All of that's all protein.
Right.
Broccoli has protein. Mushrooms have tons of protein.
Right.
And those are all healthy ways to just add that into your daily lives.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's what I've been. I think in our family as well, we are trying of all of us again to get into fitness,
Yeah.
including my mom.
Yeah.
We try to make her walk
Yeah.
as much as she can, like just walk.
I think the older generation, for some reason, struggle with the protein. Like they think that like just eating roti and shak is enough.
Yeah, it's
but
not enough.
It's not enough.
Yeah, I
you
do know
need
that.
to incorporate more
Yeah.
protein, and that's going to help them as they grow older.
Yeah,
And they, that's.
and
I push my parents as much as I can with it, but
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, and I have observed this as well, like because I have struggled with obesity for a lot of my life.
Okay.
I lost like a lot of good weight, and then after life happens,
Mm-hmm.
and then you let loose. But now about the journey that I've started, I think it's been 3 months. So 3 months or so odd so far, right? I've been cruising pretty good. I think I've seen changes in my body.
Mm-hmm.
So like I used to have knee problems. I used to have back aches.
Yeah.
I used to feel tired. I used to feel lazy all the time.
Yeah.
And even to play with the kids, I would be like, yeah, let's
Mm-hmm.
just do something. And I would give them. But now within 3 months itself, like my knee pain has gone.
Yeah, that's
My lower back pain has gone.
Yep.
I feel so much energy.
Yeah.
And every time if somebody tells me something, I'm like, wait, I'll go and get it.
Yeah.
So I can get my steps.
Steps in. That's
So it's the
amazing.
mindset that
Yeah.
you're switching it, and
You said it.
and I think Shivan is a big influence of that as well,
Mm-hmm.
because ever since she started doing it, she has gone through a significant transformation.
Yeah.
And it took her time.
Yeah.
So what do you tell people that okay, within 3 months I'm going to get my goal?
Yeah.
How do you see that? I mean, there are people, if they're losing like let's say couple of kilos, couple of pounds here and there, but how do you advise someone to stay
Yeah.
motivated? Because that's the biggest thing, right?
Yeah.
Stay motivated. How do you do that? Like how do you do your 10,000? Like what do you do to do that?
I think again, you nailed it. It's a mindset, right? I there's times where I see a scale and I like gain 3 pounds after a night out, and that's demotivating. But then I'm like, you know what? No, it's just a setback, and I have to just get right back into it. And I think having a partner who can support that is very important. Right? You need somebody who's going to lift you back up and say, no, you got this. Don't let that set you back.
Right.
And then the next day you come back and you're like, yes, I'm back in it, And and I think that support system is the biggest thing. And having somebody to back you up and know that you can do it, right? Like when there's days where I'm just like, oh, this sucks. Like I'm not doing this. This is not worth it. But my husband's right away like, what? No, you're fine. You're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. You're like, and I think it's, what are you doing it for? Are you doing it to look good? Or are you doing it to be healthy?
Right.
Right? What is your purpose?
Correct.
And I think that's my motto in life. What is my purpose?
Right.
My personal purpose is to live a happy, healthy life.
Yes. Right. Let's go into a segment where we want to talk about kids' dynamics. They are super hyper. You do something with the kids where you somehow figured out a code. This is for all the parents who have young kids. You have them meditate. What talk us through the process, or how do you do that?
Yeah. So I told you before, right? Like when I told you about my practice for meditation, it's not to just sit still in a room and, like listen to music and close my eyes. Like I cannot do that. That's, for me, is not meditation for me. For some people it is. And they have worked that practice very well. I am not able to do it that way. So I have to be an active meditator. So I actively meditate, meaning I move. I do meditation through movement. The same thing with kids. We do meditation through movement. We find different ways for them to move their mind and their body and distract it from whatever it was that caused them to be that way, right? And so we've made it a routine and a practice. And actually one of my closest friends, she is a mindfulness mama, a meditation mama, and she's written a great book called Meditation for Kids.
Okay.
And I can, send you a link for that.
But I can put the link in the description.
Yeah, she also has a podcast on parenting and meditating for kids and things like that. But I bought the book when she first published it, and at that time my kids were 3 and 5, and it was kind of the perfect age to introduce them to calming their minds and like what to do. And so the book is what we follow religiously. It's like our Bible to help our kids meditate and get in control of their breathing and calm down.
Right.
So especially before bedtime, they're just always so riled up. And so with my son, we pull the book out and he's so excited to do some of the meditations that are in there to calm himself.
Right.
And I literally have videos of him just sitting by himself now. He'll just open the book up and read through it, and then he'll sit and like just breathe.
Just
And it
stay in the
became
moment and focus on something.
And it's something you just start when you're younger.
Right.
Again, meditation is not just sitting still. Sometimes they need to get up and just breathe and scream and dance, and that's a form of meditation. Meditation is about being in present. Right? It's removing those distractions. So for kids, sometimes when you're dancing or having a dance party, that's a form of them meditating. They're being present and forgetting why they were throwing a tantrum to begin with. And it's getting that energy, like you said, that aura, whatever negative aura there was, it's getting it out of them however they best can do it. And we can't ask a kid to sit still for 5 minutes.
You definitely gave me a very interesting perspective about meditation, because I always had this that sit down, close your eyes, just don't talk for 10 minutes.
Yeah. No.
It's okay. But this gives me a perspective that just doing everything can be meditating. If you can just try to focus your energies on something, right? Yeah.
Even when I'm running, so like what I my goal is to do 55 Ks before I turn 50.
55 Ks.
Yeah, like 55K runs.
Runs, okay. I love 5Ks. Yeah.
Before, it's the easiest way.
I've done 7 or 8 so far.
Yeah. Before I turn 50.
Okay, that's amazing.
Try to do at least a half marathon.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I have a little bit of time.
Where you have a lot of time, man. What are you talking about? That's why you have been doing fitness.
It's creeping up.
Yeah, you think that way, but you So what's your count right now? Where are you at right now?
Yeah, I mean, I've done like 3.
That you only have 47 more to go.
Yeah, it's a long
The
way.
thing with 5K is that you can like squeeze them out 2 in a weekend too.
Yeah, no. Yeah, absolutely.
5K is not supremely taxing once you are
yeah.
built a little bit. Like
Yeah,
once
yeah.
you work towards it.
No, but what I do the first 10 minutes is I run without any music.
Okay.
Like no distractions. I just run and I watch my surroundings. I'm just looking at the trees, I'm listening to the birds, the cars, the sunlight. You know, I'm just taking in the outside, the outdoors.
Right.
And for me that helps. And that's a form of meditation, right? That's me being present in my run, listening to my steps, listening to the environment around me. And it really helps me in my emotions. Like if I'm feeling overwhelmed or if there's something that like really, you know, bothers me,
Yeah.
in those 10 minutes, I've forgotten about it and I've moved on.
Right.
All because I just, you know, was outside. And I don't even listen to music because sometimes the music gets into my head for some reason. And then you know, like then I'm just zoning into my thoughts.
Yeah.
But
I do that a lot.
Yeah, when I don't listen to music and I just run outside in nature,
Right.
it just hits me a different way.
Right.
And I just, you know, I love to just like see my feet hitting the ground and
Yeah.
and I hear that footstep in my mind.
Right.
And for 10 minutes I do that. And then if I want, I'll turn some music back on, but otherwise sometimes I don't even need the music. I'll just run and, you know.
Right. I've seen a lot of people do that. For me, because it's just so new to me. I always loved running and walking. Like I'm even when I was heavy, I like to play athletics. I'm into sports.
Yeah.
But then now what I listen to music and it's okay. I tell myself some of my best thoughts come when I'm running with the music on.
Yeah.
I become like I go to this whole
But that's the
parallel
problem.
universe.
That's the thing, though, right? Like you get into your thoughts again. There may be great thoughts, but the point is to
No,
not
some
be
of them are.
thinking.
If I one day I would let you tap into it, you will die
But
laughing.
that's what I'm saying. Like
They are
that's
not
the
always
point.
the
That's
great
the
thought.
point is to not be in your thoughts,
Okay.
good or bad. The point is to not be in your thoughts. And so when you're listening to the music, you're getting into your thoughts again, good or bad.
Okay.
And the point is to not do that.
All right. So
So-
just
so
try to
try
practice
doing-
present.
Even if you're
Stay-
walking, you're
Yeah.
walking outside, and outdoors is the best. Like I teach my kids, every moment that we get, we go outside. We take nature walks, we find a trail, we'll go for a walk, we'll find a, you know, figure out like, you know, when we're out in that trail, like what's the beauty of this trail?
Right.
And they manage to, and it's so great for them. That's another great form of meditation, is just to be outdoors and find a stick, find a leaf,
Yeah.
you know, do something. And they forget about those outside thoughts, YouTube and, you know, their video games and their friends and this and that.
Yeah.
Like, and they just focus on this current present state moment.
Right.
And you'll notice how different they become.
Yeah.
Like when they are zoned in on an iPad or TV even, they're not meditating. They're just focused on what they're showing you on TV.
Yeah.
But when you're out in nature in your own time, they're focused on themselves. And then they're so much calmer. You can actually have a conversation with them and you'll just see such a change in their behavior.
Yeah. I'm definitely taking that tip. I'm definitely going to try it with them.
Yeah. Take Zane out for sure. You know,
Yeah.
I take my kids, we do one-on-one time. Like I'll take my son, I'll take my daughter, my husband will take my daughter, my
Right.
son. We do just one-on-one nature walks.
Right.
And it's the best time to have a conversation.
Right.
They'll talk about anything. It's the cutest thing.
Yeah.
But it's
yeah.
been very therapeutic and mindful. And for me, those are different forms of meditation.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to do that. Just come up with some questions for you, right? It's just it spitted out a lot of stuff. I only like 1, 2 or 3 things that I thought I will take it from, right? Burst a common myth about nutrition that boggles you.
Oh,
Burst a myth.
that you can't eat carbs.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you can totally eat carbs. Carbs are good for you. Pasta, eat a slice of pizza. Like you need that energy. And you know what? It's the stuff that puts you in a good mood. When you're in a good mood, foods are supposed to bring you in a good mood. It shouldn't be so down. You don't just need to eat salads to lose weight.
Okay.
So I think that's the biggest myth. Like you don't just
Eat
need to eat
carbs.
salads, eat carbs.
Just be mindful what you're putting in your body, and then
Yeah,
you
don't eat them don't eat a bowl full of pasta every single day.
Right.
But if you eat a bowl of pasta once in a while,
yeah.
you will
Like
be
we had a
fine.
pizza. We had a slice of pizza yesterday. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I had 2 slices.
Yeah, but we were also walking a lot and
We walked a lot, exactly.
yeah. So,
So
okay.
I think
Indulge once in a while.
indulge
Yeah.
because it's not supposed to be daunting.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So don't
You know that
just
this.
think you have to eat only salads to lose weight.
Yeah, I read a post. I think it was Deepika Padukone who posted a couple of again weeks or months ago, where she explained the meaning of dieting. And if somebody asks you diet, and then she said that in Greek mythology, diet means your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Diet is not just what you are eating, or
Yeah.
when somebody says I'm on a diet.
That's-
No, you are on diet your whole life.
Your whole life, exactly.
It's your lifestyle. So when it's very important. It's such a
Yeah.
cool thing, right? Like that's my lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then if that's my lifestyle, then what am I dieting?
Yeah.
It's nothing like that.
Exactly.
So cool, right? Like just
That is
make it your
very
lifestyle.
cool.
Stay eat what you want to, but most of the part, 90% of the time, eat good stuff, healthy
Yeah.
stuff, and then the rest 10% do it, and then
Right.
react. See how your body responds to different things.
Yeah.
Like for me, paneer works wonders,
Mm.
but I know a lot of people who don't get paneer. It doesn't react that way for their body.
Yeah.
So you
yeah.
play around with it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So one more question. So how important is it to cheat meal?
All of what's so important.
And how does it impact your self-discipline?
Yeah. No, it doesn't impact your self discipline. I think that if you can, cheating helps your self discipline, if anything, right? Because if you become so rigid and you forget to enjoy,
Mhm.
going back to your whole diet is a lifestyle, if you forget to enjoy your diet, enjoy your lifestyle, and you get into that rigid mindset, you're going to stress yourself out.
Right.
And that in itself has a bad effect on you.
Right.
So it doesn't matter how healthy you eat. You're building a stress hormone in your body that's doing the reverse work,
Right.
reversing all the work that you've done now.
Right.
So, the fact that you have those cheat days is so that you feel good. But make sure it's just a cheat day,
Right.
right? And that's that one day or that one meal. And then you go back.
Does it come with a lot of experience?
Yeah,
For me right now,
sure.
I try to not have a concept of cheat meal because I'm so new to this journey that my brain is not trained that way.
Yeah.
And I've seen that. Like if I'm going to cheat, right, then immediately the next couple of meals following that will slide until I then pull myself back.
Pull yourself back.
So what I told myself that let's not worry about cheat meals right now. No,
Right.
no cheat meals.
Right.
If I need to down the line, I'm not educated enough to understand what that food is doing to me.
Mm-hmm. I think what happens is over time you realize that those certain foods won't even make you feel good.
Right.
And then you'll know that, okay, I cheated by eating that pizza, but that actually didn't make me feel good.
Yeah.
When I eat, like a protein bar, or if I eat like, pani puri or something, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yes.
And then you figure out how to make that pani puri healthier, or
Right.
the pasta dish healthier,
Or decrease
right?
the portion size maybe.
Exactly, or portion size, right? So I think that it's how we think of cheating with food.
Right.
It's you certainly have to cheat. There's no way you can not
Eat anything.
enjoy your
yeah.
life,
Yeah.
and be out in society, especially if you've got a social life.
Oh,
There's no
yeah.
way you
Yeah,
can
forget
not,
about it.
I
Yeah.
cheat every weekend because I'm out every weekend.
You have to. I mean, what are you going to do? Like just
I can't
sit
just
there
starve
and not do
myself.
anything?
Not eating is also not healthy.
yes.
And then me stressing myself out about eating so healthy is also not helping my body. So then it's like, you know what? I just build it into my everyday routine. I eat
Right.
one cheat thing, whether it's a piece of chocolate or like I tend not to eat milk chocolate.
Right.
Dark chocolate is like my jam.
Okay.
And so I'll eat a piece of dark chocolate just so that I get that satisfaction. It's a mood booster for me.
Okay.
And now I'm good. I can keep going.
Right.
And
Okay. That's interesting. All right. One last question that I ask. So if you were only given an option to eat 2 vegetables for the rest of your life, what those 2 vegetables would be? Just 2 things you can eat for the rest of your life. Nothing else.
Peppers.
Peppers. Okay.
Like
That's
bell
very
peppers.
interesting choice. I didn't think of that.
Bell peppers.
You're going to say
are
that.
my-
Okay.
Like roasted bell peppers are my favorite.
Okay.
I
For the
put
rest of
that
your life.
For the rest of my life.
One
I can
more.
Eat a roasted bell pepper and I think spinach.
Spinach.
Spinach and roasted bell peppers. But spinach, that too has to be like sauteed. Spinach.
I'll
Like
tell you.
steamed and sauteed.
I was disappointed with that answer
I'm sorry.
because you said you could only eat 2 vegetables. See, that's what differentiates with you and me, because you are so clear about what I would have straight away gone for potatoes first,
Oh God, no.
because I know you can make so much things with the potatoes. That's where my brain goes.
Again,
you
it
can
goes
make
back to
so-
what makes you feel good.
No, I mean, that's what I would have gone for. But probably, let's me ask me the same question in a couple of months. I would somewhat like maybe a broccoli, because I really like broccoli. Eat it. It's a very weird thing to do eat,
You know
but
what,
I really
actually,
enjoy broccoli.
I debate. I take it back. I also like okra,
Oh, binda.
pinda. That's
Okras.
probably my top.
Yeah, me and okra have like this very weird relationship. Like some days I really enjoy them. Some
Really?
days,
Oh my God, I can eat okra every day. Actually. Now that I think about
so
it.
how you cook it makes a lot of difference.
You know, I sometimes will put masala and I'll air fry them and make them crispy.
Oh yeah, crispy bindi.
That's the
Yeah,
best.
that's-
the best.
oh.
So yeah, binda is actually.
Right.
I take it back.
Right now I'm gonna have to go and eat.
Damn it! Now I'm stuck with.
Yeah,
you.
I mean hungry, right?
Yeah.
So I think I still have a lot to talk to you about, but I think this is a perfect time to end this session.
Okay.
And you're going to be one of the recurring themes on this podcast, because your life is so much fun. I have always had good conversations with you, and every time I talk to you, I feel like I want to talk a little bit more about
talking.
something else. And the best part is that I don't have to plan it. That's like the most natural thing that comes out.
Yeah.
Even though I had written these things down, I was like, in my back of my mind, I knew it.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen organically.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's where I thrive the most, right? So, right, you can look at this camera.
Yeah,
So we're going to end it
yeah.
is, what do you tell a young woman out there or a young man out there who are currently feeling supremely low, and uplift them? You have few seconds.
Yeah, we all have low moments. You will always want to not do something. You will always want to give up. But I think that go back to what your purpose was. What inspired you? Go back and remember your family, your parents. They did something to bring you up to where you are today, and don't let that go to waste. Just always think about that. And I think that, it's, again, my honor to be here today. But what Halak is doing is a dream and an inspiration, to be perfectly honest with you. And I'm sure for him, there was moments where he was like, I don't think I can do this. But this is proof that you can do it. And I think that just being patient with your life is the most important thing.
I'm seriously so honored. And like I said, right, I wanted the moment to start like this.
Yeah.
And I got it. So yeah, it's okay to wait. It's okay to like even procrastinate. Don't procrastinate too much, because your mind is just playing tricks with you.
Yeah.
Every shot you don't take, you don't know what's going to happen if you
Yeah.
would have taken it. So this is for me not having any regrets,
Yeah.
because I wanted to do this.
And it's your purpose, right? Like
yeah.
you have a purpose in life.
Yeah, I want to leave
You-
legacy for Zain and Shiv behind, in terms of like knowledge and these kind of wisdom bombs
Yeah.
that we hear, but then when you practically see them happening,
Yeah.
you are an example of it. Like
Exactly.
you have. That's why I got you here, because I know that you have been through that.
And you know what, though? It took a long time to learn your purpose.
Yeah, it did. Trust me.
Okay, I today know what my purpose was, even
Right.
though I practiced that purpose when I was in my 20s, right? Healthcare, wellness, living a healthy lifestyle. That's been something I've practiced for a very long time. I used to do lots of running and marathon, but today I've realized that that's been my purpose,
Right.
is to do that. And so that's why I'm here today.
No, I'm so grateful. With that being said, please like, share, and subscribe if you are on YouTube. If you're using
Yes.
any other means of listening to this, just an audio format, please let the algorithms know that you're enjoying it. We're going to continue to keep bringing amazing guests.
Yeah.
Niralee Ben's probably going to come back again, because we want to touch upon mental health. There's so much different topics I can talk to her.
Absolutely.
And it's good to live on a cliffhanger. We'll definitely bring her back. So stay tuned, and thank you so much. This is us signing off. Thank you.
Bye.
Hey, what are those?
But the question is, what are those? What are those people who are just watching the video, not subscribing to the channel, not liking the video, and not even sharing it. Please do all of that. Help your brother out. Get me to 1,000 subscribers. That's my first goal. There are many more videos planned, so I'll see you in the next video. Signing off.